Wilder in the fifth. Zhang came with a perfect counter right that basically stopped Wilder in his tracks. And then Wilder did the unthinkable, which is turn his back, which you should never do. And basically, Zhang came with the final shot, and that was and Wilder went down. You could clearly tell that Wilder was visibly hurt. He got up stumbling, and it's good. The referee knew that Wilder was finished, and I just got to say this, man. I'm not gonna play no games with this. I think Wilder should retire. I think Wilder got a massive payday, and it's unfortunate. Wilder goes out like this, but I could just tell that Wilder wasn't wasn't there. If you looking at his facial expression going into the fourth round, you could see that he was clearly dazed. You could see that he was somewhere else, and that's just basically it. Now there are gonna be people making memes and all that kind of stuff, and I expect that, because people would do anything for views and to get people to watch their channel. But no, we're gonna celebrate the guy that won, and that's Zali Zhang. I've had the opportunity to interview Zhang and his team. Good people, gracious people, humble people. At the end of the day, you got to give Deontay Wilder credit because they had been pursuing a fight with Wilder, and Wilder kept his word. They told me that Wilder promised to fight them, and Wilder kept his word, and he fought him. At the end of the day, Wilder came up short. What can we do? You notice I didn't pick a winner for this fight because I kind of had an idea of what was going to happen. But at the end of the day, due to the fact that I'm close to people that have close ties with Wilder, at the end of the day, I don't want to, rock the boat. I don't want people to get upset. But the end result doesn't surprise me. Doesn't surprise me. And it's no knock on Wilder. Wilder's took a lot of punishment via Tyson Fury, and at the end of the day, Joseph Parker may have took what was left of Wilder. Wilder was hesitant to pull the trigger. I saw a lot of missed opportunity. I think if Wilder had been trying to focus on the body, and then another thing, Wilder was too predictable, telegraphing his shot. At the end of the day, if you can't switch up or make adjustments, and people watch tape of you, now people was just like, okay, all I got to do is watch out for the right hand. Make sure I don't feel the full blunt of it. And that's basically what happened. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Divine. Wilder got stopped in the fifth round by Zhang. It was pretty much was a one-sided fight, and I just think Wilder needs to retire. Wilder was very gun shy. He was very gun, and when you're gun shy, that means that you don't have it anymore. That means you don't want to take risks anymore. That means your fighting spirit is gone. And I think Wilder tried to give it a go the first round, but I think Wilder realized, like so many fighters realize, that they stayed in the game too long. And Wilder, when you constantly talking about retirement, contemplating retirement, saying that you may retire, then yeah, maybe you need to retire before the last fight that retires you. And unfortunately, Deontay Wilder didn't get to retire. He got retired. I think it's highly unlikely that we see Wilder again because at the end of the day, Wilder doesn't know how to make adjustments. And I'm just going to tell you, you have to say, well, why can't Wilder make adjustments? Is it Malik Scott? Is it him? Is it a mixture of both? I don't think he lost his confidence, but I just think that fight, those three fights took a lot out of him, especially the last two. And Wilder just don't seem to have the punch resistance that he used to have. And then at the end of the day, now you guys see Now you guys see why they have weight classes for a reason. Zhang's weight was a crucial and pivotal factor in that fight. I looked at Wilder's legs versus Zhang's legs. Zhang came in at almost 300 pounds. Wilder came in at barely, barely over 200 pounds. You're talking about a guy that weighed 60 pounds. So this is what I've been saying, and this is why a lot of us say when it comes to fighting, weight makes a difference. This is why they have weight classes. Now, unfortunately, they don't have a weight class in heavyweight. But looking at these fights, this is why they wanted to add another division in heavyweight. This is why they wanted to have heavyweight and then super heavyweight. But I'm not taking nothing away from Zhang. Zhang won fair and square. He won fair and square. He was the better man, clearly the better man. I'm not going to sit up here and make excuses, but I'm just explaining to you when it pertains. This is why when you look back to people purposely not making weight, Ryan Garcia. And I'm going to tell you right now, don't come with that stuff about his mother and all that stuff, because at the end of the day, when his family was disrespecting Devin Haney's family, did y'all care? Did y'all say, show some compassion? No. Now, I wish for the best for his mother, but I know why Ryan Garcia put that out there, so basically they could further try to demonize and vilify the Haneys. But at the end of the day, business is business. You still cheated, and you still got to pay a price. That's just real talk. Now people going to come and oh, have some respect or have some... No, I don't have no sympathy. I have sympathy for his mother, if that's what's going on. But Ryan Garcia, fuck him. And I mean that. But at the end of the day, getting back to Wilder, as far as Wilder's legacy go, Wilder is a Hall of Famer. Because at the end of the day, this is a dude that got into boxing at a late age and became a heavyweight champion. Over at least 10 title defenses. He beat the odds. He wasn't supposed to get as far as he did. But he got it done. He was not supposed to get as far as he did, but he did. And if you hate on that, then something is seriously wrong with you. Now, Fundora is 6'7", but I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Errol Spence is contemplating retirement, and Fundora is still durable. So at the end of the day, that may be a difficult fight for Errol Spence, because Errol Spence took a lot of punishment in that Terrence Crawford fight. He was hurt very bad in that fight, and if it wasn't for Harvey Dock, Errol Spence was about to get slept. Oh yeah, Wilder's a Hall of Famer. Listen, if they put Arturo Gatti in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, you can make an argument, should Winky Wright have gotten to the Hall of Fame on the first ballot? Then how could you not say Wilder isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer? Wilder's going to be in the Boxing Hall of Fame due to the fact that he had what you would call limited ability. Didn't really have what you would call the boxing fundamentals, but he had a right hand that got him by for 40 plus fights. Has one of the best knockout ratios in history. And it's not about who would have beat Wilder in this era, that era, what future eras. It's about what he did in his era. I know Anthony Joshua is somewhere going phew, because now Anthony Joshua doesn't have to ever worry about fighting Wilder ever again. I think it's over with, and I think we all need to just come to grips that they won't be no Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder. I just 100, and I think would have been a great fight, but the politics in boxing at the time, at the end of the day, I just hope Wilder enjoys You know, he enjoys his money. Wilder just needs to focus on doing things outside of boxing. If Wilder want to open up a gym and and all that for the kids and stuff, Wilder takes care of his money. Wilder's a rich man. He doesn't have to work. Wilder is fine as far as money goes. He doesn't have to worry about money. Don't keep fighting just for a check. You fight because you still got the passion in the drive to win. And I just saw something in between the rounds that told me that Wilder wasn't there. And people just got to say this. I can't worry about, and I'm just going to keep it 100. I'm not going to worry about people being mad at stuff because at the end of the day, I'm my own man. But it is what it is. Wilder need to call it a career. You have lost, just real talk. Out of your last 5 fights, you lost, you know what I'm saying? You lost 4 of them. No, excuse me, 3 of them. Okay. And then the 4 losses you have, you've been knocked out 3 times. You've been stopped. So, like I said, I'm not bashing Wilder. Wilder's a good dude, man. He a good brother, man. This is what you call tough love, man. Don't sit around fighting for money anymore because at the end of the day, you're going to be the underdog from this point on. Unless you do something dramatic, in which I don't think Wilder to fight. He doesn't have to fight anymore. He doesn't have to fight anymore. Wilder has given us all he could. He's given boxing all he could, and people should appreciate it and respect it. This man got into boxing to take care of his children. Wilder never really had no incidents outside of boxing. That's just real talk. Wilder was a dude that always interacted with the fans, always would take pictures with fans, talk to fans, do interviews. So show him some fucking respect. Show him some goddamn respect. Because most of y'all would never do what he did. That's just real talk. I don't want to hear. Put some respect on Deontay Wilder's motherfucking name. Put some respect on his name. He fought everybody. Didn't duck anybody. He wanted all the smoke. He had his lighter ready. Isn't this what we supposed to celebrate? It doesn't matter the competition he fought. At the end of the day, his competition ain't no different from Triple G's. Triple G get praised for fighting truck driver, Foot Locker worker, milkman. You know what I'm saying? Tree cutter after tree cutter. But nobody don't question him. Nobody talks bad on Triple G and say he didn't fight nobody. Triple G's resume is hot garbage. So if you want to go that route, real talk. So that's just it. Let's just keep it a buck. Put some respect on Wilder's name. Put some respect on that brother's name, man. He gave it his all. And that's what we ask. That's what we ask these boxers to do. While you got some of these boxers that very selective and calculated of who they fight, Wilder, anybody that asks for a fight with Wilder, in all likelihood, Wilder would sign the contract. Now, unfortunately, I knew Zane was going to be a very difficult fight for Wilder because I've seen Zane fight. Joseph Parker, like styles make fight. Joseph Parker is a good fighter because he beat both of them. Just styles make fights. Zhang knocked out Joe Joyce twice. Wilder gave us highlight reel after highlight reel. I think Wilder ain't gonna be appreciated till 20 years from now when you looking at the YouTube archive videos, the compilation videos of Deontay Wilder and what he contributed to boxing. He always was willing to fight everybody, and that's what we want. We sit up here and we complain about why can't we get this fight? Why can't we get that fight? He won't fight this dude. He won't fight. Name one person that Wilder ducked. He was on his way across the water to fight Alexander Povetkin, and Alexander Povetkin popped dirty. But now you guys didn't learn the lesson. You didn't seen everything came into play. Zhang's size, his power, his weight. Now, this is why I say once again, this is why they have weight classes for a reason. This is why you shouldn't have nobody like Inoue fighting. That would happen if Inoue fought somebody like Terrence Crawford. You think they're gonna tell Inoue to fight Terrence Crawford? No. Too much weight. Inoue don't last one round with Terrence Crawford. They have weight classes for a reason. Now Bibble, he got the job done. He finally got a stoppage. I'm proud of Wilder too. See, this is what they think, and they think, and I'm gonna get deep with it. A lot of people think that us black folks, we only support each other when everything is going good. They think that we finna abandon Wilder. They think, okay, we only mess with Wilder when he's winning. No, I'm still here. Just like, I'll talk to Bill Haney. I'll talk to Bill for over an hour today on the phone. So I know exactly what's going on. I know what the plan is. So, that's what I'm saying. You see what didn't happen since this Ryan Garcia thing happened. Look at all the people Bill was given access to. They didn't turn their backs on him. They didn't abandon him. They didn't turn their backs on Devin. I'm still here. I'm still rolling with Wilder, win, lose, or draw. If Wilder retires, don't choose to fight again, I'm still messing with Wilder. I'm not gonna sit up here and just act like you have to be undefeated for me to talk to you. I talked to Ronald Cruz. Ronald Cruz was coming off a loss. I didn't talk to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't briefly talk to no Nito Donaires family. Shout out to the Donaires. You ain't supposed to turn your back on somebody because they lose a fight. Nah, the brothers and sisters got Wilder's back. We ain't going nowhere. Black fist all day. All day, all night. That's real talk. So, black fist, straight up. And y'all can put, you know what I'm saying? You can put the black fist emoji because I'm still staying down. I'm still down with Wilder. I'm still down with Haney. And like I said, and the people that happen not to be black, if they cool with me, I'm cool with them. That's how we get down. There you go. There you go. There you go. So we just want to let Wilder know, man, we love you and we ain't going nowhere, man. At the end of the day, you still a champ, you still a hero, you still a Hall of Famer. You win some, you lose some. That's just the way it is. You pick yourself back up in life and you move on. Because most of these people that's gonna be making their emojis and trying to taunt Deontay Wilder and all that kind of stuff, they would never have the guts to do what Deontay Wilder did. Because most of these dudes, they be talking crazy over the internet. And when you see them in person, they switch up. Switch up. I'm just going to say this with all due respect to brother Malik Scott. You just wasn't it, dude. At this point, I wish he would have stayed with Breland. I know him and Breland had a bad breakup, but man, Malik Scott just wasn't it. I mean, you went 1-3 with Malik Scott, and a lot of things contribute to Wilder getting where he was. Too much, you know what I'm saying? Ring rust. You know, guys like him, they should be fighting at least twice a year. You know, he had a long layoff after the Robert Helenius fight. Go right. You coming off a fight with Robert Helenius, you stopped him in 1 round. Then you fighting the former champion of Joseph Parker. You know, Joseph Parker is a tough fighter. You know, he a tough fighter. And that's the thing. Look at Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker got stopped, but he bounced back. That's what happened. But Joseph Parker is a little bit younger than Deontay Wilder. You know, Deontay Wilder is pushing 40. You know, Zhang Yi is 40, but Zhang don't have all the fights that Wilder has had. Wilder has had over 40 fights. And here's the thing. Wilder has one of the greatest knockout ratios in the history of boxing. And that's just real talk. That's what's going to get him into the Boxing Hall of Fame, because people going to analyze when it's time to vote. They're going to say, man, Wilder got as far as he got starting at the age of 20 with limited boxing ability. He wasn't a natural. It was on the job training, on the job learning. Now, I can tell you, I'm not going to go as far as to say I don't think his conditioning was the issue. I think it was just he didn't have the punch resistance that he used to have. And it makes you go back to the Tyson Fury fights on whether Tyson Fury has something in his gloves that played a pivotal role and what happened with Wilder. You have to take all of that into account. Yeah, Wilder is definitely a Hall of Famer. Anybody say Wilder ain't a Hall of Famer, you full of shit. Just got to be said. And like I said, it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart. Especially a guy that you root for and you respect. Yeah, it hurted. It hurted to see. It hurted to see that happen to Wilder, but it's boxing. Anytime you step into the ring, is a chance either you gonna finish on your feet or off your feet. So, but I knew when Wilder turned his head and Zane came with the hook, came with the turnaround hook. I already knew Wilder was done. And I'm gonna tell you something. It was Wilder's will that just was like, I'm not gonna let myself get counted out. I'm gonna go out on my feet, at least standing. And Wilder was visibly hurt. Listen, I have to say this. And this is just real facts. Wilder, I didn't want to see Wilder get slept. I'm glad the referee. I didn't want to see Wilder get slept because we all know what was finna happen. We all know what was finna happen, and I didn't want to see that happen to Wilder. I didn't want to see Wilder lose a fight like that. Let's be real. We all know what was about to happen. Well, I mean, he definitely should have got the first win over Fury, but that was Jack Reese. I moved on from it because, as you guys know, I'm a credentialed media member. So, at the end of the day, I can't go into these fights like having animosity towards certain fighters or certain people or referees and all that kind of stuff. I have a job to do. You mad at that moment, but when you see these guys, you have to talk to them. Now, it's certain fighters that I'm not ever going to talk to. Fighters that I won't ever go around. I won't ever go around Ryan Garcia. I don't care if I ever interview Ryan Garcia. I don't care if I ever talk to Tank. And it's a few others I can think of as well. There's a few others, but those two in particularly, at the end of the day, I just see what these dudes do. They master manipulators. They want people to have empathy. So now Ryan Garcia is calling for empathy for, his mother. Okay. Like I said, thoughts and prayers to Ryan Garcia's mother. But here's the thing. Did you have empathy for Devin Haney when you put that shit in your system? And you could have killed Devin Haney? Was you think so? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Oh, appreciate the super chat. I wouldn't exactly say that. I wouldn't exactly say that. I don't know if that was like a condescending, remark, but I don't think it's just. I don't think it's that. I just think it's just one of them things. Wilder was just past this. Wilder was just a little bit past his prime. He didn't have it anymore. He just didn't. He just didn't happen anymore. So it comes time when you have to understand, even when you like a basketball player, even when you a football player, when you a boxer, when you a baseball player. Michael Jordan, that last All-Star game when he missed that wide open dunk, that's when you knew, okay, he's not Air Jordan anymore. He's Michael Jordan. You saw it with Sugar Ray Leonard. He went on too long. His last fight with Hector Camacho went on too long. Donovan McNabb, for some reason, it went. I mean, he went to Washington and just bombed. So it happens to all. It happens to everybody. You can prolong the clock, but you can't beat the clock. And that's just the bottom line. But yeah, Wilder is a Hall of Famer. Well, I think he is. I think he is going to retire. I don't think Wilder. Listen, I keep telling you, you have to come to the conclusion when you can't do it anymore. And I think Wilder's heart is not there. And then that's the thing. You in the hurt business. You in boxing. This isn't baseball. This isn't basketball. This isn't football. Even though football is a physical sport, but boxing, you getting punched in your face. You getting punched in your stomach. You can get your ribs broke. You can get your nose broke. You can get a concussion. You can even perish. You can even perish in the ring. You can lose your life. You have to get to the point where you say, all right, it's done. It's a wrap. I can't do it anymore. And I think sometimes in boxing, some people go on because depending on where you are and what your stature is as a fighter, is very lucrative. You say you're going to retire and then they give you $1 million or almost $1 million to fight an up and coming fighter that they don't think you can use, you can that you can beat. Then guess what? You become a gatekeeper. So it's hard to walk away from that type of money. But I hope Wilder calls it a day. He has nothing to prove. He gave it his all. He gave us 40 plus spectacular fights with spectacular knockouts. So that's just real talk. It get, like I said, you're gonna have people talking crazy about Wilder, saying he was never this, he was never that. But at the end of the day, they can't do what Wilder did. Can't even get close to it. Well, that was the plan. I think when Wilder was Wilder, AJ and his team were very worried about Wilder. And I feel like this is gonna be, it's gonna be always a disappointing and a stain on black fighters, black heavyweights. Wilder and Joshua could have made history. I think at the end of the day, us black people got cheated. We can finger point all we want. The Joshua fans can point the finger at the Wilder fans and vice versa. But at the end of the day, it was a win-win fight for everybody because you know what I'm saying. It was for black, you know what I'm saying, black across the water bragging rights versus American black across the water rights, you know, bragging rights. But we never got to see it because of the politics and the BS that got through along the way trying to make that fight. So we'll never know. At the end of the day, I wouldn't even have cared if Joshua would have won or Wilder would have won. They could have set up an epic trilogy, and it just never could happen. And it's just sad, and that's just gonna be something that we gonna always wonder what if. So there you have it. But anyway, I'll be back with more later. Appreciate you guys. I'm out.